The top handbag collectors in the world are interested in handbags made by Hermes. Hermes is a designer brand today, but it was founded in 1837 as a harness workshop. In the 1880s, Hermes expanded into saddles, and then at the turn of the century, when the automobile was invented, it was very important for Hermes to diversify their offerings in order to maintain relevance in this changing world. And one of the pieces that were created by Hermes were handbags. I am the head of sales here at Sotheby's for handbags and accessories. We have both a buy now and an auction platform for our handbags and accessories. Sotheby's is the premier destination for luxury and artwork. For us in handbags and accessories, we established ourselves in 2018 with our very first auction, and then we launched our buy now platform in 2020. So one thing that differentiates us from other competitors is that we offer both buy now and auction for our clients. So the Birkin has been around since 1984, and it's named after Jane Birkin, who is a French celebrity who met actually at the time the creative director for Hermes and family member. The Hermes Birkin is one of the most collectible bags made by Hermes. It was designed in the 1980s. It was created when Jane Birkin was seated next to an Hermes executive on a flight. She had her signature straw tote bag. She was shoving it in an overhead compartment, and it fell out, it tumbled out, everything fell to the floor. And the gentleman sitting next to her said, "Why don't you have a bag with pockets?" And she said, "I will when Hermes makes me one." She just so happened to be sitting next to the CEO of Hermes, and the two of them together sketched up the idea of the Birkin bag. This was in 1984, and 3 years later, this bag was then released to the public. It, has a cult following. It's supposed to be, the easiest to use bag, the thing that, is such a symbol of, status for some people. My responsibilities at Christie's include advising clients around the world on their handbag collections. I put together handbag auctions, whether it's from one single client or from multiple clients, put together to create sales during special moments at Christie's, like Luxury Week. I advise clients on their purchases. The one great thing about a Birkin is its silhouette will never change, essentially. It's classic in every sense of the word, but one of the things that they're known for is the different sizes and colors. So each season they release a new size, a new color, and that's kind of what people look for when they're trying to find one of the Birkins for themselves. And the designers that created these handbags 50 years ago, 100 years ago, were ingenious, and they've created iconic forms that today are still resonating with collectors and handbag shoppers around the world. I think it's iconic because when you look at it, it doesn't scream Hermes, it doesn't scream a brand, but you know that it's a Birkin and you know that it's Hermes. So, it's hard to obtain because there's only so many made each year, and the want for it kind of outweighs the accessibility. Pieces are made in such a exquisite way that not only is it the materials and the craftsmen that are expert in this method, and these forms are essential. So the Birkin looks exactly as it did in the 1980s. The Kelly has the same form as it did when it was first created in the 1930s. And if you purchase one of these pieces, not only will the condition stay in an exquisite form, but also the style will never become outdated. The Birkin really has been able to stand the test of time, and it's really due to how classic it is. Even though trends come and go, because it is something that is so beautifully made and it is so classic, it's been able to really outlive some of its other competitors. So one of the most expensive bags sold at Sotheby's, we have an example of it here, is the Kelly. In our auction that happened this past September, we had one hammer for $350,000 roughly. And with this sale, Sotheby's set a record for a handbag being sold at auction within the United States and Europe. The thing about handbags are they're such personal objects and such a reflection on your own style, perhaps your job, where you live, that there really is something for everyone.